I'm chatting with Paul Dergarabedian from Hollywood.com. He was actually at the premiere of This Is It in Los Angeles a few nights ago. I was at the press screening, and fortunately I didn't get invited to the premiere. But so give us a sense of the atmosphere over there, Paul.
It was electric, Shira. It was pretty amazing. Arrived there a little early to get to the red carpet. And it was really interesting because it was super windy there as well. I mean, there were all these celebrities, dignitaries. I mean, Mayor Villaraigosa, the mayor of LA, was there. Lou Ferrigno, Jermaine and Tito were there, and just so many people. But it was a very interesting atmosphere. It was fun. It was lighthearted, but everyone knows that we were there for a reason, and that reason was the This Is It movie, which would only have happened and only happened because of the untimely passing of Michael Jackson.
So was it emotional in there? Were people bopping their heads? Because I know in the movie, I mean, if you're a Michael Jackson fan, you're listening to all these songs, you just want to get up and dance.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were actually talking back to the screen. It was almost like being at a concert. It's as if you were there at the concert that was never able to happen. So people kind of treated it like that. After the various musical numbers as portrayed in the film, the audience there would applaud as if he had just performed live on stage. Very unusual, very unique situation.
Yeah. Did anyone make a speech before?
Yes, actually, Kenny Ortega, the film's director, came out and talked about Michael. He wanted to thank the family for being there. He addressed the worldwide audience because the premiere was taking place in like 15 countries all at the same time, regardless of time zone. Kenny Ortega is featured prominently in the movie because he was behind the scenes doing all that. So yeah, he introduced the movie, and it was quite touching. You could tell he had much love for Michael Jackson.
All right, so let's give it the review. You're an expert in the field, obviously. What did you think?
I really liked it. You know, I was a big Michael Jackson fan back in the day, but in recent years, his personal life kind of overshadowed what I thought of him. And so this comes along, and it's a performance-oriented movie. It's not about his personal life. They're not talking about any of the circumstances leading up to his death or any of the controversy throughout his life, which I thought was appropriate. This is a celebration, and that's exactly what it was. I love the movie. I would actually see it again, aside from some heavy-handed stuff about nature and the environment.
I know, you got a bit deep there. I mean, it was interesting to see. A lot of us have never really seen who Michael Jackson really is. We've seen him perform. We've seen that side of him. But to see his little quirks and eccentricities was really fascinating.
It was fascinating, and I like the way he just seemed so focused. And he even says in the movie, he says, I know every bit of information about every song I've ever done. I know every note, every detail, every arrangement. And he is in complete control, totally focused. And at the same time, he's a nice guy. He's respectful to all the people he's working with. And these singers and dancers who got to work with him, some of them for the first time, you could tell they were absolutely thrilled and moved to be working with the King of Pop.
Yeah, I mean, you see him constantly say, God, bless you, love you. It's like this guy doesn't scream. I don't know if they just decide to represent him in that light, but it seems like he was just the sweetest person, despite, you know, how huge he is. Yeah,
he seemed like that, although you notice there were moments where if he wanted something redone or wanted to do something a certain way, he let it be known. He was like the director almost on a movie set, the way he knew everything that was going on intuitively and literally, and he was all there and focused.
And also, but did you notice how frail he did look? I mean, you saw his body. He looked like a skeleton.
But he always kind of looked skinny to me. I actually didn't think he looked that bad. I thought he looked pretty good, and his voice was great, and those dance moves, man, there's nobody like Michael Jackson when it comes to that. I got a newfound respect for this guy. I'm just bummed out, Shira, that I don't get to go to that concert and that we all don't get to actually see him live.
I know. Yeah, well, at least he left us with something to capture that excitement that he brought on stage. So what, do you predict for the box office, the big number?
Well, it's doing well so far. It did about $20.1 million on Wednesday alone. Now, this had a budget, or the cost to acquire it, I should say, of $60 million. So they made 1/3 of that acquisition rights money back in one day.
Wow.
That bodes well for the weekend, so we'll have to wait and see. It's Halloween weekend. Halloween falls on a Saturday, the biggest movie-going day of the week. That may affect things. You got Paranormal Activity out there. But certainly This Is It. I recommend that people definitely go and see it. I think it's going to do very well at the box office. It's out for only 2 weeks. If you want to see it on the big screen, you got to go now.
Okay, so it's going to do well. Michael Jackson, This Is It, will make it big, and he'll stay on top of his game, even now that he's not here with us.
Even in death, he's on top right now.
All right, thanks so much, Paul.